everybody! So today I'm going to be teaching you how to play Dynamite by BTS on the ukulele, and this is actually a little bit more of a unconventional tutorial because even though I'm going to be doing the same format tutorial that I always do, my cover of this song actually hasn't been released yet. I actually haven't finished it yet, but I'm going to be finishing it, so you guys are going to be getting a little bit of a sneak peek of the cover in a sense. So yeah, if you want to learn how to play Dynamite, just keep watching. You're going to first start off with your ukulele, and your strings are not going to be in standard tuning. They're going to be 1/2 step or semitone up. So for me, I don't have a capo, but you can put your capo on the first fret if you have one. And if you don't, just tune your strings up 1/2 step. So instead of G, C, E, A, your strings should be tuned G sharp, C sharp, F, and then A sharp or B flat. And even though your strings aren't going to be in standard tuning, I'm going to refer to them as if they were in standard tuning. So I'm just going to point out like G, C, E, A, but keep in mind they should not be in standard tuning. They should be 1/2 step up. So for the chords, I separated out the main chords into two separate sections. So you're going to have the majority section, which is basically the section of the chords that you're going to play for the majority of the song. And then you're going to have the chords at the key change, which is where in the final chorus the key changes and goes up. So those are the two main sections that we're going to go over today. And so the first section that we're going to go over is the majority section. For the first chord that you want to know in the majority section, you're going to play C minor, which is open on the G string. First finger barred all across the C, E, and A string on the 3rd fret. So the entire chord should sound like this. But if you don't want to bar it, you can take your first finger on the 3rd fret of the C string, second finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. So in the end, it should sound like this either way. And then the next chord that you're going to want to know is F minor, which is first finger on the 1st fret of the G string, open on the C string, second finger on the 1st fret of the E string, and then 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then I just put my 3rd finger here just because it's comfortable. So either way, it should sound like this. So the next chord you're going to play after F minor is B flat, which is bar your first finger all across the 1st fret, and then add your 2nd finger onto the 2nd fret of the C string, and then your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the G string. So it should sound like this. And then after B flat, you're going to play D sharp, which is open on the G string, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the C string, and then 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then 1st finger on the 1st fret of the A string. So altogether, it should sound like this. So those are the 4 chords that you're going to play for the majority of the song. And you're going to play that until you get to the very last chorus when the key changes and the song goes higher in pitch. And these are the chords that you're going to need to know for that section. You're going to first start off with D minor, which is 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the E string, and then open on the A string, so it should sound like this. And then after that, you're going to play G minor, which is open on the G string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then 1st finger on the 1st fret of the A string, so it should sound like this. And then after G minor, you're going to play C, which is open on G, C, E, and then you can have either finger honestly, but I prefer my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, so it should sound like this. And then after C, you're going to play F, which is 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, open on the C string, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the E string, and then open on the A string, so it should sound like this. And those are all the chords that you need to know in order to play Dynamite. But if you want to stick around to learn the strumming pattern that I'm going to include for my cover, just keep watching. Even though this strumming pattern is based off of the cover that I made, you can still use this strumming pattern or any strumming pattern that you want. This is the one that I found personally fit best with the song. That's why I used it with my cover, and that's why I'm going to teach it to you guys. We're going to first start off by learning the intro, which is basically plucking all strings or strumming down and letting the chord ring out. The reason why I say letting the chord ring out is because when you pluck all strings or when you strum down, when you hear the chord, it kind of like resonates in the air. So that's why, like, when you hear the ring in the air, it kind of made sense for me to just label it as let the chord ring out. So that's what you're going to do. And you're going to do that for each of the chords. So I'm going to start off by playing the intro with chords and the strumming pattern. So it should sound like this. And with the chords and the melody, it should sound like this. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. After you slap the ukulele, I guess, to transition into the next section, we're going to start off with verse 1. So verse 1 is basically just Jungkook's part until we get to RM's part. So for this part, all you need to do is pluck all strings on each beat. So if you were to count 1, 2, 3, 4, each number gets like a pluck, if that makes sense. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to continue that until you get to RM's part. With the chords and the melody, this is what the strumming pattern should sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. King Kong, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top and run. Ding dong, call me on the phone, I see in a game of ping pong. Yeah. And then after you finish singing Jungkook's part, you're going to go to RM's part. From RM's part, you're basically going to follow the majority strumming pattern, or what I like to call the strumming pattern you're going to play for the majority of the song. So basically, all you need to do for this part is pluck all strings, strum up, slap, or you can strum down, strum up, slap, and then repeat that as you go on with the rest of the song. And since you're going to play this with the majority of the song, I'm just going to demonstrate how it's going to be used in one section with the chords and the melody, just so you guys have like a little bit more perspective. So without any chords or melody, the majority strumming pattern should sound like this. And with the chords and melody, I'm going to play the chorus of the song, but this is what the majority strumming pattern sounds like in context, if that makes sense. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. Shining through the city with a little funk and soul, so I'ma light it up like dynamite. Oh, oh. And after that, you're basically going to continue that strumming pattern for the rest of the song until you get to the part before the final chorus. It's like the bridge in a sense, which is separated into two parts. So you're basically going to do the exact same strumming pattern that you were doing in the majority strumming pattern, but for the first part of the bridge, when they sing Dynamite, you're going to mute your strings like so. So what I do is place my left hand lightly on top of the string so that when I strum, none of the pitches of the strings come out. So for the first part, it's going to be strumming down, up, slap, like you did in the majority strumming pattern, and then you're going to do that 4 times, and then you're going to unmute your strings and then add your chords back in. Basically, the entire bridge with the melody and chords when they come in sounds like this. To move into the final chorus. So the final chorus is where the key change comes in, but we're going to start off with Jimin's part when he sings and the tempo kind of slows down. So for that part, you're going to pluck all strings and let the chord ring out for each chord, like how we did in the intro. So once you finish Jimin's part and then move into Jungkook's part, you're going to do what we did in the first verse where you plucked all strings on each beat for B flat, and then what used to be D sharp will now change into C. You're going to strum down multiple times to build up to the key change. So with the chords and the melody, the final chorus before the key change should sound like this. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. Shining through the city with a little funk and soul, so I'ma light it up like dynamite. And then like you get to the final chorus, key change. For the key change strumming pattern, all you really need to do is the majority strumming pattern since we've returned to the original tempo of the song, but you're just going to change the chords to be from the majority chords that we covered before to the key change chords. So since it's the same strumming pattern that we did for the majority of the song, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit more perspective and just play the entire final chorus once we get to the key change. So with the chords and the melody, the final chorus after the key change should sound like this. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. Shining through the city with a little funk and soul, so I'ma light it up like dynamite. Oh, oh. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Life is dynamite. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Life is dynamite. Shining through the city with a little pumpkin sauce. Wanna light it up like dynamite. Whoa. And then the song just ends. And that's basically the entire strumming pattern for Dynamite. I'm going to be leaving my cover in the cards and in the description box, so that way you can come back to it if you wanted to and listen to it if you wanted to have a better perspective of the strumming pattern, because obviously I gave like a little bit of a sneak peek with the parts that I sang along to. But pretty much that's all you need to know in order to play Dynamite chords and strumming pattern wise. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you want to keep up with me on social media, I do have a TikTok. I'm pretty active on there. I don't know why I'm active on there, but I am. And I do have an Instagram as well. It's the same user. So there's that. If you want to subscribe to this channel, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for the rest of the video. So thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.